All right, let's take a look here. Alrighty, good. Looks like it is up and running. Alright, exit out of that. Get in Trainz. Alrighty, hello everyone. Happy Monday to you. Happy May the 1st. Hope you all are doing well. I'm your host, Boeing Fan 727. Gonna take you here to the Carrabassett Valley Railroad. We're gonna be rocking today. We're gonna be getting some good work done. Hopefully, maybe, possibly. I couldn't tell you. I really don't know. What we do today is what we do today. This is gonna be a shorter stream than yesterday. Yesterday. We streamed for about 2 hours and 43 minutes, approximately, according to YouTube. Today, probably going to do it for maybe about 45 minutes. I do have things I want to do. Gotta take a shower. I'm with my girlfriend. She's getting Steam today. We're going to get her all set up and ready to roll on Steam. But other than that, yeah, it's going to be a pretty short stream. But today, I'm going to finish connecting up some of the crossings, getting close to Flagstaff Yard, so in between Victoria and Flagstaff. And we might find ourselves possibly laying down the template for Flagstaff Yard, or at least getting a general idea of what I want to do in Flagstaff Yard. So, it's definitely a good possibility there. So, but I hope you all are doing well again. I know I was just here yesterday, but always good to return for a second day in a row. Let's see. Oh yes, and I did mention last episode that I'm always mentioning that I'm looking for good Guilford content or good Pan American content. I do know about the GP9 from the Jointed Rail. I own it. It does not work, so I appreciate y'all for commenting and stuff like that. But I already own it. It just doesn't work. So. Alrighty, so this crossing's still all hooked up. Just making sure everything's good, hooked up. So, be going over here. I think what I'm going to do is just lay down the crossing and then hook it up. So I'm not wasting so much time doing that. I did want to come here though. I kind of want this road to come down onto the tracks like this. Kind of come down this like little dip. Whoa, not like that. Yeah, we can say it like that. Might be a little too rough, but all right, we'll add the crossing, whatever. Let me see. Probably gonna be down here, I believe. Yep. Oh God, no. There we go. Yeah, I'll probably just add 2 for good measure. I don't think we'd need it, but well, nah, I don't think we need it. It's just a rural crossing and whatnot, and it'll prevent cars from flying over the tracks, I suppose. It's got enough clearance. Yeah, it's good. So yeah, like I said, today's just not going to be as long as a live stream. I thoroughly enjoyed yesterday. It was really fun to be here for 2.5 hours and whatnot. I had no sarcasm intended, but it's just for being here for 2.5 hours is a bit of a project. So it does take up a lot of time to do that. Luckily it was a pretty crappy day anyway, so I wasn't going to be missing anything. I had nothing else to do, so no problems there. It's just, it does take up a huge chunk of the day, to devote that much time to live streaming. Unfortunately, I'm not someone who has a lot of time to spare. Not to sound like one of those guys, well, I can't spare much of my time. I'm a very busy man. Not to sound like that, but like it just takes up a lot of time. I mean, it really does. So, but I hope you all enjoyed yesterday's live stream. I hope that maybe you would come back for some more. Hopefully, you will come and enjoy or join future live streams. I do this pretty regularly. I try to, anyways. Try to do this pretty regularly, so as often as I can. Never seen this one in here before. I have to use that somewhere. I kind of like it. Never used it. There, get that around the pole. Come right here for a second. Oh, I added a second pole. I don't need that pole. Although one thing I am going to have to do real quick before I do anything else is get that hooked up. So I guess we will hook this crossing up real quick. Alright, traffic stopper. Put it right here. That's going to be a pain in my butt. I can just feel that coming. That's going to be a pain in the butt. The only reason why I say this is going to be a pain in the butt is due to the fact that it's all on a hill. Or it's sloping into it. And I know how well these things love it when things slope. Alright, that's fine. Alright, now take this, do that, do that. No, do this, and that, and this, and that, and this, and that. And stop now, bring it around town. Hopefully you all know that reference. Alright, that should be good. Alrighty. It is what it is. I'll keep that. I'm not gonna make a big stink. We're really never gonna be sitting here. Alright, so that's 19. I can't tell because I didn't exit out. 19, good. Get some invisible track hooked up to it. Bring me the track. I don't know if it's going to have any crossing sounds because there's no actual gate. You know, these are all just lights. We'll have to definitely try it out real quick, or I will try it on my own time. No, I could raise the intervals. We'll do a 1.2 interval. I don't know why. I just want to see what that does. I've never actually messed with the intervals. I set that to 1, right? Alright, yeah, and we'll set you. No. Thank you. 1.2. And I really doubt it, but we'll wait and see if that even works. So, alrighty, there's that. And if not, I have a little trick that I can do that I've done with a few crossings. Is basically just take a gated section, or just take a crossing gate that I know has sound, hook it up, and then just sink it below the surface, or sink it below the terrain. So I know it works, all that great stuff, but you don't have to look at it. So, and we'll get the trigger right here. $19. Two-way running. I did set that up for two-way running, right? Yes, I did. It doesn't have to be extremely far away. I said not extremely far away. Probably like right here and right here. It's not really going to be an extremely fast section of track, probably 20 miles per hour at the most through here, just because the Y. So yes, I did buy the GP. I bought it about a week or two ago. Probably about a week ago. Right there, so there's that crossing. I kind of like it with the lights like that. And I do like this one. That's why I use them all over the place, just because the big lights. I don't know why. I just like that. So continue on down. Let's see, probably put another crossing. So we are getting closer to a larger community up here. So gonna have a few more roads than anything. Probably have Route 27 cross here again. Or no, this will just be a regular road. I'm going to use the Ashtow roads. Or the Ashtow roads. I don't know how you want to say that, but... Hey Chris, how you doing? Let's see if I could just raise it up. Oh, okay. Yep, found it. Find that sweet spot. And vertex height, height value. Yep, I knew that wasn't gonna work. Can you guys not hear me? Alrighty, just making sure. Wouldn't be the first time I've had just making sure. Not wouldn't be the first time I've had issues with that, so definitely won't be the last. But hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to the stream. Just messing around with crossings right now. That's kind of the goal for the day, is to build a couple crossings. Just trying to get the terrain where I want it exactly. I mean, that's about as good as it's going to get right there in particular. So, I didn't go specifically looking for the Boston and Maine. To be honest, I've never really cared for Boston and Maine's paint schemes and whatnot. I know it would be common up here, but I've just never really cared for them. If anything, up in this particular portion of the line, I would be using more Maine Central, as we are more Central Maine at this time. Though my only Guilford engine that I have right on the side says Boston and Maine, so I'd love for it to say Maine and Central, but unfortunately it doesn't. And then, like I said, I have the, where is it? Yeah, there's the GP9, but it doesn't work, so does not work. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, yeah, that's right. I was doing this rubber. Yeah, I mean, you know, I know Boston and Maine's very important to this area and whatnot. They're, you know, obviously very prominent, given the fact that they were bought by Guilford. But at the same time, you know, they're not really. I wouldn't say they're very common up in this portion of the line. And I've just, like I said, I've never really cared. It's just that very boring, basic blue engine. It just something about it doesn't really. It just doesn't really scream to me. You know, it just doesn't really say much of anything to me. It's just like, okay, that's actually really kind of boring. Really kind of boring. But that's just me. That is just 100% me. So I wanted to use that. Yeah, I've never used this before. Interested to see how that will look and work. Actually, wait a second. I know what this does. We ain't using that. I think I have to hook that up specifically to the train tracks. Oh crap, I forgot that. I forgot that. Oh well, I'll add that later. There's a wigwag. I don't need a wigwag over here. Actually, no, I don't have to hook that up specifically to the train tracks. Okay, I lied. I lied. Now I am building a road that's kind of going this way too right here. It's kind of splitting off, so it's going to have to be one big crossing all hooked up to each other. We'll have to figure that out here in a second, but just trying to see what works the best here. No, I don't need a pedestrian. This is the absolute middle of nowhere. I don't need pedestrian gates. No, don't need that. I would like something with a gate, though. No pedestrian gate. Come on. Hey, thanks, Jack. Appreciate that. You know, we'll go and use the ones that I got from Jointed Rail. Yeah, I think that B&M engine is a GP9 as well. Now, one thing I've always been confused on is the crossing gate supposed to be on the shoulder like this, or is it supposed to be more off to the side? Because that's one thing I always forget to check when I go by a crossing, is where is its relative location? Because I figure, you know, here you get more coverage on the road versus where it's off on the shoulder, but you also run the risk of actually hitting it with a car, with it being right there. I don't know. I don't know where that's supposed to go. I've always kind of put them off the shoulder over here, but I don't think that's exactly where they go. Is this longer? No, it's not longer. Well, actually, nope. I don't know. I don't know. I don't need that. Definitely don't need a pedestrian gate. Okay, that's what I thought, but yeah, no, I mean, you definitely want a computer that can run it pretty well, because my computer just barely does it. I mean, it's alright, but it gets annoying. So, it gets annoying because the lag just tends to be an issue sometimes. It definitely gets on my nerves too. So, but you definitely want to have a system that can run trains pretty well. Can be a bit of a frame hog at times. Alright, so reset that. I'm going to have the gate delay so they're not all going down at the same time. And might actually lengthen the flash cycle. We'll probably do 9.3. No, not 93. 9.3. Oh, 0.93. I did 193. Alrighty. 0.93. Alrighty, so there's that portion of the crossing. Now here comes the fun part, playing with the roads. I guess we could have a four-way intersection. No, 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 no. I just wanted a T intersection. Alright, come down here. I'm just going to get the blank road marked. I've gotten this to work in the past, but I don't think it was on a slope when I did it. So we'll have to figure this out real quick. Or, you know, one thing I could just do. Ethanol. I think I have a couple. Yep, I got two. I don't know if they look good, but they don't look half bad. Ethanol. Yep, I got two of them. I don't know what the difference between them is, but oh, one looks a bit more weathered. Automatic running numbers, pretty good. It's, you know, doesn't look half bad really. So, but yeah, I think Join Rail has a couple that are freeware. I'm not 100% positive, but take their word for it. Do with it what you will. Wish the creator of these roads made a T intersection, because the only intersections he has are four ways. And that's a big pain in my butt too. Everything's a pain in my butt today. Mine? I got mine from the download station. I'm sure you could just go type in ethanol, because they're just ethanol tank car. UTLX. There's two of them, 1 and 2. So just go type that in the search bar at the download station, and I'm sure you should be able to find them. Uh-oh. Gonna need some probably wooden crossing. So this is more of a rural road. No problem. I don't think I've mentioned them before, but remind me when I'm exiting out, because I'd have to. I don't know them off the top of my head, but it's just pretty much a base 2013 MacBook Pro. That's all it is. Nothing fancy about it. But yeah, remind me when I'm exiting out to check them real quick so I can show you. If, of course, I don't remember myself, but I probably should. More than likely. I possibly might. I have. I can't remember what I did in any of the other episode or streams and whatnot. But yeah, I may have mentioned it in a previous live stream. I'm sure someone's asked me before, but I can't. I don't know my specs off the top of my head. Am I adding more? No, I did not. Why did I do that? And this bell will sound. Oh, okay. As long as it works. I wonder what happens when I offset it by that much and keep that one there. So, and once the train passes, probably don't need that. So we'll probably just do maybe a second after the train passes, or we'll go 2 for good measure. Alrighty. Now to hook the whole thing up. Now, surprisingly, when I learned how to build crossings, sorry for that long pause and in my talking, but trying to think of what to say today. But surprisingly, when I learned to build the crossings, when I first learned how to do it, when I was first learning how to do it, there really wasn't a too many good guides on YouTube to show me how to build these, and I was talking around some people, and they said, "Oh, it's too hard. You know, only advanced builders really know how to build crossings and whatnot. You know, you shouldn't waste your time on that. Just stick with like the base crossings, and whatnot." And I'm like, well, the base crossings kind of suck because you could be doing 30 miles per hour in a train, and the gates aren't fully down until you're pretty much going through the crossing. You know, you're watching the gates go down as you're barreling up to the crossing, and it really only works if the line speed limit's like 20 to maybe 15 miles per hour. And then even still, I like these custom crossings because you have so much freedom with what you can do. I mean, it's just plain and simple. But, so I learned how to do it. And the first crossing I ever built had a working traffic light with it. It was complex as hell, and it worked. I don't have it anymore because it was on a corrupted file that just I don't have anymore. Does not exist. But cool crossing, and I laughed because I just remember how people were telling me that building a custom crossing is too complicating in trains. You should just stick with the regular crossings. Only novices can build custom crossing, ATLS crossings and whatnot. And it's like, really? I feel like anyone could do this if you just, know what to do. It's not hard at all. And I mean, this is how I build all my crossings now. I mean, I don't use any of those standard crossings at all that come with the game. They don't work really for what I want them to be used for. They don't work at all. That's right. I gotta hook the road up to that. but and trigger. But no, my hopes is, you know, maybe get a video to show off some of my crossings and, you know, some of my cooler crossings in work. Chris, that might be me swallowing. I have a really sore throat today. Everyone's been sick in this house, one way or another. So my mic could just be picking up me swallowing. I do apologize. I understand that might be a little annoying, but I have a very bad sore throat today. So I do apologize for that if you do pick up on it, but there's nothing I can do about my physical condition at this moment in time, so I did set that to, yes it did, two-way 4-trigger system. So coming along. Coming along. Wait, did I go back? Yes, I did. Other way, Jaden. Other way. Alright, so they come around the bend. I might actually want to move those triggers a little further back. Especially given the fact that it is a gated crossing. Here might be alright, but at least there, to give some time just because of the gates. Now, I'll test it out later and see. So, and here it comes up to 2 tracks. And we're pretty much at the yard at this point, so probably do one more small crossing over it. And then we'll do an overpass. So, well, actually, I don't know. I think we're pretty much good. I think an overpass would be sufficient just given the fact that we are right at the yard. So, and this is going to be where a lot of traffic comes, and I imagine some trains sitting on this siding right here. So, I think we should be fine with that. Yeah, that should be a sufficient amount of crossings. You know, it's not, you know, not a ton, but just enough, so. But I'll take you guys and show you some of these crossings that we've built the best I can, of course with all the clutter in the way, so. And I haven't named these roads yet, which I will eventually, but if you all have any good names, let me know, I suppose. I'll add them if they kind of fit. A couple of the crossings. Shoot back this way. Built one over here. Now there's one crossing in particular that I do like on this whole line. Or actually it's a set of crossings. It's actually right here. Right back in the town of Warren. Pardon the lag. Pardon the mess of traffic lights. But this is just one crossing I like that I did, and this was the first crossing I built on the line itself. Works with the traffic lights, it's all timed. It's pretty much a street running. I did have to, it is a little weird when you're coming down the tracks. I mean, it's a 10 mile per hour speed limit, but, Green Tree Road, I like that. Do that. Green Tree Road. You'll be coming up to the crossing, and of course the light's green, and then it has to go red before the gates go down. So you'll be coming up right here, and the gates start going down. So you're creeping, and then you go through. I just kind of like it because it's not a perfectly timed system, so you can't just continue to do 10. You have to monitor. You have to monitor the crossing before you blow through it. And of course down here, another street running crossing, and it has a switch. And of course that pole isn't there, and that stop sign I don't think is there, but there's another cool little crossing right there. And then we come over to this wigwag. It's just chilling right here. And of course, got our highway crossing over here. I don't know why I like it, I just do. Just for the siding, but I've seen a couple of these where you're coming down, I wouldn't say like a highway, but you're coming down a busier, a divided road like this, so yeah, probably a highway. And then there's just a train crossing right there. It's just, it's just for a little branch or a little siding or whatnot, but it's a freaking crossing that goes across the highway like this, so it just kills me that it's there. It's like, why would you have put this here? But it's, something, so. Alrighty, so that's that. And I'll do stuff with those roads later and figure out where they go, but that's the base layout for the roads and the crossings. As for the yard, and I'm running out of time because I do have to get going for supper here shortly, but I did want to get a little live stream in today. So this is pretty much the start of the yard. Just my NHL app letting me know something. This is pretty much the start of the yard here. I have to figure out a layout because what I want to do is I want to have these two tracks right here, obviously being the main line or whatnot, or, well, this being the main line. And I want the line to kind of jot off that way. The line's going to kind of curve when it leaves. I'm pretty sure they're still there, Jack, but and this is a bigger yard. This is a terminus. This is where, freight coming up from coastal Maine is going to be staged, Guilford. When they bring up freight from, when Guilford brings up freight from Rumford, this is where they're staging them, right here into Flagstaff Yard. Of course, this being Flagstaff Yard means Flagstaff Lake's going to be probably right about over here. I got to build a lake right over here. The town of Eustis is probably going to be back off to the right side over here, so I got to look at some maps and, kind of get a feel for what Eustis looks like, see if I have the appropriate assets for it. But like I said, this is going to be a big yard. This is where our, engine service facilities are going to be. In terms of a refueling point, a maintenance lot. So I really have to look at and get a good idea. And I'm going to be talking to my friend Tim Price this week. He's my buddy that worked for BNSF. I'm going to be taking a look at his Illinois Terminal Handbook and seeing if there's any yards that kind of that speak to me and whatnot in his little book there, and try to get some good track layout for it. But to kind of get the base idea, and I'm just going to plop down a few things so at least I have them ready to go when I want them. Definitely have a couple vending machines. We're going to have a few vending machines, but Oh, also probably have a small, I wouldn't say intermodal yard, but probably have a small little yard of some sort because I do have intermodal cars coming up this way, more or less, or just a flat car with a container on it, like I showed you guys last live or yesterday. You know, probably have a small little intermodal yard for containers destined for this yard. So, don't need the freight house, service area, or locomotive shops. I'm gonna need that. I do like those locomotive shops. Nope, I don't need that many. I just need one. Thank you very much. I'll figure out what I want to do with it later, but well, that's not a mouthful. Carrabassett Valley Railroad Engine Shop, Flagstaff Yard. Yeah, no, it's not a double stack. The Warren Wig Bag. I'm just gonna run back because I think I named that street. I did name those roads back here. I'm almost positive I did. I named it. So there's the Wigwag. If we can get through the mess of trees, I should have a street sign right over here. Yes, I do. It is Kennebec Lane. So yeah, that's Kennebec Lane, because it goes up to the upper Kennebec River. But anything pretty much, you know, I would say from the time we leave Victoria. So this crossing right here. So from the time we leave Victoria, I'm losing my voice now. From the time we leave Victoria to pretty much the time that we get to the yard, I don't have any names for them. So ooh, a B&M auto wreck. I think I've seen that one too. But no, I mean, I might, maybe will use double stacks, maybe. Or if I do use those cars in particular, it's just going to be one car or one container. Because I have never, ever seen double stacks running through Maine. Or most of New England. Well, I don't want to say New England in general, but mostly up past Boston. You just don't see them. And I'm trying to keep this as realistic as I can. So, you know, given that, where are my? There they are. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That is not what I wanted. There it is. No, that's not what I wanted. Where is it? Yeah, I can, I'll name it that. So Green Street. Where did it go? I had it, and now it's... Oh, there it is. Saying, like, I'm losing my mind here. So yeah, probably just this. We never see any double stacks ever coming through Maine. So, like I said, the intention right now is to go ahead and use just these flat cars, and I've rigged them to have the containers on it, the jointed rail containers. That's all we're going to be doing it on. So, let me see. Running out of time. But yeah, so have an engine facility. What is that? Shop. Yeah, we'll just put that down. I don't know what that'll be used for, but generic service area. I don't know what exactly would go on here, what this little building is for. That'll be like where they have the fuel hose or something, or I don't know what that little building's for, but I kind of want a covered service area. I don't need that. We could probably use that. I don't know, but you get the point. You know, I gotta start figuring out what I'm gonna need here, but it's gonna be a relatively large yard. I mean, might have a branch that goes off of it down to some local industries within the town of Eustis, probably to a couple of warehouses of some sort or whatnot. And how you doing? I love New York Central NYC. That's a great name. Welcome to the stream, and I think you actually just caught the end of it because I'm getting ready to go here. But so before I forget, I'm gonna go in real quick and just put down a little street sign to remind me the names. So we didn't name these. Wait, did we name these two? Let me just look back. All right, so this is one of the main roads. So I'm thinking this is going to be a more common name. Oh, with a loading stand in the middle of it. I need. Oh wait, no. So this would be something else, but a gated one. Green Tree Road. So left or right, or a different one. RR Street, Railroad Street. Left. Okay, so this will be Green Tree Road, I guess. And the closer it gets to Eustis, it'll probably turn into Elm Street or Spring Street or something. Something generic or common, but I'll put this down just to remind me for the time being. Dope. Way to go. There it is. This one over here, I haven't named yet. We'll come back to that one. Back up this way. You wanted this one to be... this one, Green Street. Actually, if it's alright with you, this more feels like something that's going to be named Road. Or something along those lines. So would you want to switch the names from this to Green Tree Road to the other one to Green Street? Because I feel like it would just... oh. My bad. I think I accidentally blocked you, RMD, on the chat. Wasn't trying to do that. That was 100% my fault. My apologies. 1285 Country Road. Well, I'm going to leave it off there for right now. If you have any suggestions for crossing names, I'm going to basically do it this way. So this is crossing up here, up by Victoria, which sits right about here, up here. This is crossing number 1. If you have a name for crossing number 1, but this is crossing number 1, so if you have a name for crossing number 1, let me know. Coming down this way, right here, it's crossing number 2. It's just a little road. This is crossing number 2. And then we got crossing 3 over here. This is crossing number 3. And it applies for both crossings right there. And then we got crossing number, although I think we just named number 4. So, unless you have a better suggestion for number 4, this is crossing number 5, and we already named crossing number 6. So, if you got a suggestion 1 through 5, let me know. I would ask that you guys leave it in the comments once this posts to YouTube, because I do have to get going here. I gotta get in the shower, and then I gotta get ready for supper. So, but I do appreciate you guys for watching. I apologize that today was a yes, Chris. I understand you might have a name for crossing number 1, man, but please leave it in the comment section once this video uploads, if you would be so kind to do so, because I got to go. I have to go. It's pretty much like I got to go. So let me know in the comment section, guys. I haven't heard anything about Approach. I do talk to him often, but anything in particular, I just try not to comment on. You know, I just because I don't know yet. So, but anyways, I appreciate you guys for watching. Like I said, please comment down what you would like to see for these crossings right down here, and I will talk to you guys later. Oh yeah, that's right. I actually have to start exiting out now, don't I? That always works. See ya, I love New York. Sorry again, it was a short stream. But thank you for watching. I love New York. Oh, that's right. Thank you, RMD. I'm going to do that real quick. So this is pretty much my computer specs right here. It is, I'm on OS X U70. I haven't been able to update. I don't know why. It doesn't want to. It's MacBook Pro Retina 13-inch, late 2013. It's got a 2.8 Intel Core i7 processor. It's got about 8 gigs of memory. Graphics cards, it's all right. It's all right. It's nothing extraordinary, but it does all right. So I'm definitely hoping to look to get a bigger upgrade soon. But this is all I got for now. So, anyways, now that you've all gotten a good look at that, I appreciate you all for watching, and I hope you all have a nice day.